Hey guys, welcome back to Puff and Loudum, and welcome back to Café Enchanté. Honestly, I just should not ever predict finales ever again, because every single time I think that we're about to hit the finale, it's always like an additional chapter. So, I'm not gonna predict anything this time. I know I said that last episode was gonna be the finale. No, it was not. Let's just get right into it. I already read this. The moment we enter the laboratory, Eel lets out a heart-rending voice. Oh, I see. So this was the place. I also recall his memory we saw in the tower. Eel approaches the center of the room and gently falls to his knees. He closes his eyes and softly puts his hands together in prayer. That's right. In the past, Eel spent time here with the Apostles of Recollection, and it's the place where he killed them. Eel.
大丈夫です、ことね。私はただ、あの時返せなかった言葉を祈りによって伝えただけ。私と出会ってくれてありがとうと。
I see. I'm sure those two are happy. After closing his eyes in a heart-rending way, Eel quickly stands back up as though renewing his mood.
ですが、これであなた方が今まで無事に潜伏できていた理由が分かりました。ここは彼らが私の動きを封じた例のジャミングの術式を開発した場所です。
Also, damn, look at how tall Epilogue is. He's like literally almost a head taller than Eel, like at least half a head.
端末に残されたデータを使い再構築。結界や監視の目をかいくぐるのに利用していたのですね。
ああ、それ自体を見つけたのは完全な偶然だけどな。地を司る追憶の使徒様が残したものってんなら、ジャミングの強力さにも納得だ。つっても悪用されないためか再構築には回数制限があったけどな。
Due to that, jamming can't be used anymore. He mutters this in a dejected way. Then, all the information about Kayam and the data records you talked about before are also?
まあその二人だろうよ。当時は関係ねえとよく見ずに放置してたが、今回のドタバタでそういやこんなもんがあったなと思い出してよ。今となっちゃ随分と気になる記述だぜ。
For some reason, Epilogue is looking at Eel with interest.
まあともかくデータを再生するぞ。劣化してるからところどころ欠けてるかもしれないが。
Epilogue starts operating it, and the window floating in the air displays text that I can't read. This seems to be the writing of Kayam. The two of them start reading it aloud in a way for me to understand. It was a record left by a certain virtuous scientist who was involved in developing God. Oh, Lord. This is... Oh, I guess we're the scientist? A record I leave for self-contention. I pray a person of sound character finds it. Akai. As a child, I arrived on this world over a decade ago. Those in power and my fellow scientists are foolish. They disrespect the spirit beasts who are friendly towards us and aim to create forbidden technology. To create an autonomous artificial intelligence for total control over this world. A project to develop God. I thought it truly ludicrous, but unfortunately I seem to possess special talents as a scientist. I was forced to participate in this development project and imprisoned in this laboratory. I cannot hold back my disgust. Maintaining equilibrium is impossible. I'm sure this God would find its human creators unnecessary and exterminate them. Despite my objections, none of my colleagues would listen. In that case, I must fight alone. I have little time. Due to the unreasonable development schedule, my body is gnawed away by illness. I'm sure my life will be exhausted by the time God is completed. Before then, I must do something. Unseen by my colleagues, I decided to prepare 2 countermeasures. The first, forgotten by the people at the end of prosperity. To preserve a way to return to one day, I made the existence of completely hidden. If the completed god or people in power realize the existence and function of there's no mistake that they would misuse it. To do this, I made allies of the spirit beasts captured in the laboratory as test subjects, giving them a terminal width? A terminal width? I think that's a typo. Maybe like a terminal will or something? A unique concealment system. I succeeded in letting them escape. Using that system, combined with the power they wield, hiding that space itself from visual perception and physical contact using a special barrier succeeded. Therefore, if I die, no one will know of the existence of that place. If possible, before then, I'd like to escape from here, and even if I'd like to return to the dearly missed Okay. I also applied a genetic authentication system, so only me as the exception could discover it, but the hopes of that are slim. Also, the next measure is my true intention. After completion, to prepare for God's episode, a way to neutralize all commands and functions. In the end, I will implement a self-destruct failsafe to implement into the artificial intelligence in secret. I will implement to implement. Okay. I shall call it
断罪プログラム
Wait, so is Eel the project?
断罪
ああ、お前に与えられた役割と同じだ。本当ならこのプログラムは神が人間を害した時に発動したんだろうな。だが
From there, it switches to Eel's friends, a record left by the Apostles of Recollection. However, the virtuous scientist made one miscalculation. That was putting the judgment program inside of the combat protocol in order to conceal it. That's right. After his death, the completed god created the first angel as a weapon, and he transferred that part of himself into the Apostle of Judgment. Therefore, after parting with it, God could process doing harm to humans without self-destructing. Humans, spirit beasts, all existences that threatened perpetuity were killed and used as materials for angels. However, in exchange, while the Apostle of Judgment was the most loyal individual to God, he was also the only individual created with the function to destroy God. If he awoke to his own will and determined God to be a threat, he could use that program, turn his blade against God, and overthrow him. Well, shit. Oh, God. After our shock at the truth, we started talking it over to piece it together. If we could manage to activate the judgment program within Eel, he wouldn't be restrained by a command like before. In fact, he could neutralize the functions of God.
生産者たる私に対し、お前たち天使の攻撃など、霊力の還元に過ぎぬと知れ。
He could even destroy God? This is amazing! To think that we found the one way to defeat that God. We were at a stalemate before, but now I see a ray of hope.
問題は他にもあるが、ひとまずの手がかりにしちゃ上出来だぜ。
When me and Epiloki looked towards Eel with smiling faces.
なるほど。エピロギ、その断罪プログラムの設計を記すコードなどは拾えていますか？
ああ、もちろんだ。ただ暗号化が複雑すぎて俺にはちょいと読み解けねえな。
私なら解読できるかもしれません。少し見せていただけますか？
Epiloki nods, then switches places with Eel. Eel fiddles with the device, as well as the code for the judgment program. It scrolls by at high speed, with hundreds and thousands of strange symbols and letters, and after following it with his eyes.
なるほど。完全な解読には時間がかかりますが、確かにこの機能ならば、神の打倒が。
The moment he says this, the movement of Eel's fingers stops suddenly. With wide opened eyes, he stares intently at the window and is left speechless. Eel, what's wrong?
何か問題でもあったか？
いえ、かなり複雑なコードだったので、少々驚いただけです。
He's lying!
発動のためのパスワードも3日後には解けるかと。
I feel like he's definitely lying. That was the most fake
救
reaction.
済計画の直前じゃねえか。なら死ぬ気で間に合わせねえとな。ただ、一つ確認させてくれ。ちょいと心配なことがあってな。
Something that worries you?
ああ、この記録を見る限り、断罪プログラムってのは神を自戒させるための機能だ。だからつまり、お前が神そのものとつながらねえと発動できねえってのは間違いねえ。
Oh, it probably says something like, oh, Eel's gonna die if he goes and kills God.
ええ、その必要があるでしょう。その上で、彼と私の意識を一時的に同一化させる必要が出てきます。
Ew. What? There's a word I can't ignore and interrupt without thinking. Well, what do you mean, merged?
わかりやすく言いますと、再接続とはまた別の機能で、神と意識を共有することですね。
Eel will become the organ. Is that really okay? You have to self-destruct after that. Wouldn't you be pretty much destroying yourself? That sounds like it would affect you.
ああ、いえ、心配はいりませんよ、ことね。
Sounds like a lie. I'm shaken by unease, but to give me peace of mind, Eel gives me a cheerful smile.
意識の同一化というのは、神へ自戒を作用させるための一時的なものですから。もともと肉体も分離していますし、私に何ら影響はありませんよ。
Really? Then that's good.
では早速、この件を皆に知らせましょう。
Yeah. Following after a smiling eel, we leave the laboratory. It's ominous. Oh shit. Could you? Oh. Oh shoot! He's talking through the record? Oh shit. Oh god. Also, when I was thinking if Eel's gonna become the organ, could you say that he's an organ donor? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Anyway, the next day, resistance operations against the Salvation Project began. The way to overthrow God, this time estimated to prepare the judgment program, is 3 days later. The timing really was just before the heavenly world executes its salvation project. Oh right, they were gonna go and like destroy humanity. But they likely know that we'll try to interfere. Using the memories of Solitas and Eel, they know the combat potential of Enchanté. They would definitely take measures against us, so we divided roles just in case. Just like back at Amazaki Island, Mazir was to operate the wormhole from Earth. However, it won't be possible to completely close the wormhole, so this isn't anything but buying time. Epilogi will support Mizir, and after God has been defeated, will search for and rescue abducted humans. Mikado and Mr. Rindo will lead evacuation of residents in the area estimated for the wormhole to open. Ignis and Canis will hold off any angels likely to try and interfere with Mizir. And Eel will hurry to ascend the tower and confront God using the judgment program before the spirit furnace starts to absorb. However, it sounds like one of the tower's functions is to deploy a barrier around it. The judgment program can't do anything to the tower itself. Like last time, it will be necessary to ascend from the inside. And while I should normally stay behind since I'd get in the way,
わがままなのは承知の上です。ですが私はあなたについてきてほしい。
I was gonna say if Kotone was like, I'm gonna go, I'd be like, sit your ass down. But if Eel's asking, then I guess it's a little different.
何があっても必ず守ります。どうか私の決着をその目で見届けてはくれませんか。
Eel asked me directly. Yes, no matter where it might be, I'll see it through to the end, by your side. I don't have any reason to decline. I nod without hesitation. Well, I'm very nervous. Oh, we're already here. Great. Salvation time soon approached.
ホールの構築完成と霊力炉の稼働時刻が決まった。
And the heavens with God, the apostle of the oracle bows his head.
断罪の使徒は間違いなくこちらの計画を妨害しに来るだろう。前回はお前の意見を聞きその身を逃がしたが次はない。あれが私のもとにたどり着けば必ずやその肉体を我が身へ戻す。
皇帝。
Oh, Solitus, his love. I honestly think that Solitus, like, genuinely has a very soft spot for you.
決してあなた様の救済の妨害はさせません。そして二度とあれが落ちることがないよう当個体が完全なるフォーマットを果たし
Okay.
回収してみせましょう。
I was hoping he wouldn't say that, but look at the pain on his face, you know, like, alright. In order to confront the Apostle of Judgment, to perform final maintenance on himself, after watching Solitus fly down into the tower, God plays to himself.
あれもまた替え時か。
What the fuck does that mean? He's gonna replace Solitus? No! No! Okay. I don't love Solitus, but I don't think he needs to be reset, right? But he's showing emotion though, so maybe God's like, that's not allowed. I don't know, that's very disturbing. Mizir prepares his magic. GPM instructs residents to evacuate, while everyone fulfills their roles. Eel and the others rush to analyze the judgment program. As for things I can do to help everyone get even a little rest, continuing to brew delicious coffee is about all. Before I realized it, the time had flown by. It was night before our plan would take place. Oh, Eel's perspective, alright. To prepare myself to see God. In my own room, I run a pen through the letter set. As I write the text, I ponder. To think that a time would come when I, of all people, would try to destroy God. Several thousand years passed since my creation. In all that time, it never crossed my mind. Not even once. Nor had I the capacity to contemplate some things. I doubt anyone in heaven ever thought that I could fall. While God, my creator, obviously understood such things, he is likely still angered by this. He likely thinks that if one creates a puppet, The very basis for emotion should have been erased from the start. However, regardless of how much unnecessary is removed from angels as superior beings, and I myself was called the greatest masterpiece among those angels. Tracing back, the material for me was a human. Such living beings were used as materials to create the upgraded life form, so of course they possess a soul. Even God couldn't remove that, and could only seal it away. That's right.
私たちには魂がある。
That's why I shall use that soul to make it possible to overthrow God. As I think of such things, my pen completes the final stroke.
とうとう書き終えてしまいましたね。
Is he writing his will?
手を尽くしましたが、結局断罪プログラムを用いる以外の方法は見つかりませんでしたか。
What I wrote were 2 letters. One of them, after staring down at it,
やはり残すのはエピロニ宛てのものだけにしておきましょう。
after changing my mind, I go to tear up the other letter, but unconsciously, the thing running down my cheek falls onto the letter.
情けないですね。心を得てから私はずっと泣いてばかりだ。
Oh, the letter I was trying to destroy. That. I grip it tightly and press it against my cheek to hide my pathetic face.
どうしてやっと理解できると思ったのに、ずっと求めていたあの感情を彼女と一緒。
It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. How many times did I repeat those words over the last 3 days? If possible, I would run away with her right this moment. However, if I don't do this, everything ends. All the cherished things I've built up will vanish along with this world. Then, at least...
Ew, I like your smile.
Ruined the moment again. I must make this battle meaningful. To protect the time and place I spent along with her. This time, I stow the letter in a place it can't be found, and wipe away what's in my eyes. I'm sure she's likely still awake, and I'll go to her. Ew, no. I'm so nervous I can't sleep. As I sit in bed, I hold Koro and mutter this. No, to be exact, I don't feel like sleeping. I don't even have the willpower to change my clothes. As usual, night at Enchanté is peaceful. Even the sky looks so pretty. But tomorrow, right over Enchanté, a battle with angels, or the fate of every person in the world will happen. Yeah, I know, Koro. After all, this is still unbelievable. I wouldn't say anything like that. Suddenly, a knock rings out. Everyone said they were going to bed early in preparation for tomorrow. Who could it be? When I say come in... Ah!
起きていると思っていました。
It was Yel who visited, but he had a somewhat sad smile.
空気を読めないとまた言われてしまうかもしれませんが、ことね、よければ私とデートをしてもらえないでしょうか。
What? We're gonna stop here. What? What? Well, I mean, mean, maybe this is Eel's way of being like, this is like my bucket list. Like, I want to go on one last date with her before I like go off and die. I mean, it's so obvious that like they're leading up to it being like, well, Eel's mind is going to meld with God and then be destroyed altogether, you know? So I didn't expect that. So wow, Jesus. Next episode, I guess we'll see Eel and Kotone's final date, and this is not the finale I wanted. God damn it. See you guys next time.